Hey there, DC All Access. My name is Eric Radcliffe, and this is my submission to be the correspondent at San Diego Comic Con. And first of all, I'm a huge fan of DC All Access. I think it's a fantastic show. Jason and Tiffany have great chemistry, and it's fun to watch every single week. But now that I've got that out of the way, obviously I'm wearing an Aquaman t-shirt. Half of the reason I'm doing that is just because I have a Green Lantern tattoo as well, and I'm a huge DC fan. I have been for about since 2005, 2006. I was as a kid as well. Like I can remember going to the grocery store. Yes, I'm 27, so when I was a very little kid, there were still comics in grocery stores, and I can remember picking up issues of The Flash when Mark Waid was on the book, and it was an issue I can remember vividly of having like Johnny Quick and Max Mercury and everybody helping Wally be a better hero, and it was like I can remember bits and pieces of that, and I did fall out of touch with DC for a little while. Like I would watch the cartoons, like obviously it was a huge Justice League and Justice League Unlimited. Trying to think of Static Shock. My brain froze completely, and I was a huge fan of all that. And like I said, I picked it back up around 2004, 2005. It was right after Identity Crisis, though probably around 2002, 2003, I'd actually picked up a random trade for the first time for reading DC in a really long time, and that trade was actually Stealing Thunder. For those that don't know, it's a huge story in JSA featuring legacy characters, and it was my first exposure to characters like Icicle and just the overall idea of legacy characters. Sandy being a I'm a huge fan of Sandy. Like I love Sandman, but I love Sandy and the fact that he is, this huge legacy character. And I love that redesign that Alex Ross did a couple years ago. I kind of hope it finds its way back into the new 52 if it hasn't already. But I'm blabbering. So without further ado, I'm actually going to change into something real fast to continue talking about why I think I would make a great correspondent. So I will be right back. Jump cut. I also have this very awesome Riddler costume. It's like the jump cut didn't happen. No, I'm kidding. Um, but this is my Riddler costume because I'm a huge fan of the Riddler. I really love the Jeff Loeb, Scott Lobdell, and Paul Dini version of the character instead of the riddle me this version, more of the annoying the hell out of Dick Grayson when he's Batman because he knows he can, and he gets paid money to solve mysteries. I really love that version of the character, and the guy who figures out Batman's identity. That's my favorite version of the character. I love obscure characters. Like when I found out in Lego Batman 3 that Detective Chimp was playable, I was just like, are you kidding me? And that was like instant buy, even though I already had it. It was still one of those seal the deal kind of things. But to get back on point, one of the reasons I think I'd be a fantastic correspondent is I host a podcast called the Why I Love Comics podcast, in which I've been interviewing comic book and other creators and writers and just everybody in entertainment, from Jane Espenson to Brian Michael Bendis, Fabian Nicieza. I always screw up Fabian's last name. Tony Bedard, Scott Lobdell. I have Matthew Dale Smith on, who I specifically talked about because Starman's one of my favorite series. So we specifically talked about when he did the art on the Ragdoll issue, just like he's done some other issues of that series back in the day. But I've talked to plenty of creators, done plenty of press junkets, so I do have the experience there to be able to help where needed. And I think I'd make a fantastic correspondent because, like I said, I do know my stuff and my material when it comes to pretty much all aspects of DC. I love Tom Taylor's work. There's a lot of stuff that I really dig. Like I really liked Scott Snyder's run on Swamp Thing, as well as Charles Soule's stuff. And like I haven't read too much of the New 52, but there is a lot that I'm well versed in because I am a long term fan. So um, hopefully you guys dig this video. Like I said, I keep saying which I won't do when interviewing people if I do win. But I've actually never been to San Diego Comic Con. I've done a lot of conventions in New York Comic Con, Boston Comic Con, a lot of smaller shows, whether it be having a table for the webcomic that I do, which is called New Comic Day, where we talk about everything from DC to Marvel to finding Thanos has decided to crash on my couch, or Jonah Hex and having to run into the past to escape him. But you can tell the madness that comes out of my head. So hopefully you guys consider me. I would love to be your correspondent, and I look forward to hearing from you soon. And thank you for considering me.